Good morning, and I mean morning. It's early in the morning, but I wanted to get up and tell another part of this story about the ancestors. Well, I left off talking about how we were going to the slave dungeon, and we were on the what seems to be a fort. There's some cannons up there, some graves. It's like 6 graves or something like that up there in the cement. And a couple of them were black people, a couple of them were white people. So the only person on top of the uh, fort, I'm assuming it's a fort because there were cannons up there, and the only person up there at the time of the 7 of us was me and Dominique. The other sisters must have been ahead of us, already entered the dungeon. So I heard this kid, I don't know, somewhere between about 8 and 12, across the water, far away, yell my name, Kim. Now, I know nobody in Africa, especially a kid, is yelling my name. So I know this is some spirit. I know this is spiritual. So I don't respond. I just turn around and look. As I turn around, I see Dominic. I know she didn't hear it because she had no reaction to it. She would have probably said, Kim, who's calling your name or something like that. So I pay it no mind. I go on into the dungeon. We get down there and all of us are there with the tour guide. And it's black. It's literally a dungeon. It's just black at the bottom, and on the top was the castle, I guess, where the white people lived, and they had church while black people were down there suffering and dying and living like sardines. And like I said, their urine, their feces, their vomit, their sweat, menstrual blood, everything. Hungry, hot, and in the dark and thirsty. So the man is doing a tour, and he's telling us about this one room. He's telling us now about how they packed them in there like sardines and how they lived in their urine and their feces and all of that. And he was telling us about how the governor had a trap door up, and he would look down and see which slave he wanted to rape next. And whoever he picked, male or female, was taken out, bathed, cleaned, fed, kind of nursed back to health a little bit, and taken to the governor for sex. So as he's talking, I hear people again yelling, just screaming outside, like they're outside the dungeon in the water. I can hear them screaming again, but I don't pay it no mind. Mind you, Dominic is still outside. I think she hadn't made it in yet. So finally she comes in, I believe. I can't remember. So he's telling us the story about what happened way back in the 19 whatevers. And I hear people talking in the dungeon. It's like all of the slaves are talking amongst them. It's just talking. I can hear it. But I'm looking at my 6 sisters, and I know they don't hear it because they're not responding. They're not having no reaction to these voices. And I don't know what the people are saying. I can just hear them talking. So I stopped the tour guide and I said, excuse me. I took in my sisters. I said, do y'all hear that talking? Like outside and in here? So they all turned around, and Ife looked at me and she was like, no, sis, we don't hear it. And I said, oh, okay. I knew they didn't hear it. I was just like, oh, okay. So as we're going on, about a minute later, literally, something told me to go into this corner in the dungeon. And I told the tour guide, I said, what's over there in that corner? Because I was being called to that corner. This is all new to me. I don't know nothing about this stuff. I've never had this experience before, really. So he said, I don't know, go see. And I said, I can't go and see because it's dark. Can you take me over there with your flashlight? He just had an attitude. So he take me over there. I bend down and I'm touching the floor. Yeah, where the feces and everything dried up at 500, 600, 400 years ago. And I'm like, what's right here? He said, I don't know. And I said, well, what's over here? He said, I don't know. And I said, okay. I knew he didn't know, so I just cut it off. We finish the tour. And we get to a part where there is a I don't know who this man was. It was a I don't know, it was a man, like a priest or something, black man sitting on a throne with candles and different things, and there was 3 stools uh, near him, and he said, "Go and sit on the stool." I didn't know he was talking to me, so I kept on standing there, and he said, "Go sit on the stool." So my sister said, "Kimberly, he's talking to you." And I said, "Oh, he wants me to sit on the stool?" So I went, there's 3 stools. I sat on the middle stool. I forgot to ask him later why he had me sit on the stool. I don't know. I don't know if I had a stick in my hand or he thought I was old. I really don't know. So we leave the dungeon, and we left the dungeon and we came out traumatized. Hearing the story and knowing what these people actually went through, knowing that there were people living upstairs and going to church upstairs and praising God upstairs, and they had human beings downstairs, was disturbing. We were all traumatized from this, except Deshawn. She had been through it before, and she was the only one in the picture that we took that was smiling. To know that they threw live people into the Atlantic Ocean was disturbing. And I've been from elementary school, high school, college, and some more college, and I've never learned this stuff. Like, I've studied Black history, African history, and a lot of this stuff I didn't know about. So when you step on the land in Ghana, it's a very good chance, depending on who you are and how the spirits work with you and how the ancestors want to interact with you. It gets really deep, and it gets deeper than this. I was in Ghana a year and a half, and oh baby, it got deep. The ancestors was always around me. I could always feel them. I could always feel them. I couldn't hear. They didn't talk to me. They didn't interact with me. No spirits interacted with me like that. Like, nobody talked to me. So that was a good thing, because I was going through enough hearing them and being able to see them. So that's pretty much it for now. We left. We came out traumatized. We left. Oh, in the dungeon, as the man is telling a story, Siobhan, my sister Siobhan, she's one of the 7 of us. She cried. She just cried loud, like it hurt her heart to hear the stories. And it was awful to know that now, growing up in life, people want us to believe that the same God these white people served that did this to us is the same God we serve. We serve the same God. So in Ghana, growing up as a child, I would question church. I would question God. You know, we have questions. Some things didn't make sense. But after being in Africa, it was a lot of questions. It was just a lot to take in, and a lot that I wanted to know. Like, we cannot possibly be serving the same God. It kind of makes sense that they made this Bible and this whole story up about Jesus just for us to be stupid. Now, I know some people are going to disagree with me. I understand. I get it. And I know some people don't believe in ancestors, and some people don't believe that the dead communicates with us. But anyway, I'm going to end this for now. If you have any questions about this segment, about this video, or the last one, or any one of them, please inbox me or let me know some kind of way, and I'll try to answer your questions. Remember, I'm new at this. I'm not a storyteller, and I'm still trying to tell the story, leaving some parts of it out. So at some point, I'm going to have to tell some parts, because it's hard for me to skip over things, because the story starts to not make no sense to me. So it's not going to make sense to you if I leave parts of it out. All right. I love y'all. Bye.